So I'm here with Dominic Gain, who's a senior producer on Watch Dogs. Revealed last year at E3, blew everybody away. Back again this year at E3, still looking really impressive. It's still like one of my games of the show. And the thing that really impressed me in the demo where you've been showing on the booth here is been showing how the multiplayer works and how you can actually go into somebody else's game and attempt to hack them and they can kind of hunt you down. I mean, was that is that kind of in the design brief from the beginning that you wanted to kind of have people interfering with our games in that way?
So I mean, our core credo for the game is everything's connected and connection is power. So we're building everything along those lines. And so when we started looking at multiplayer and we wanted to kind of change the rule of the game a little bit. I mean, Watch Dogs is an action-adventure game, and we didn't want to have a multiplayer that felt like something that had nothing to do with the core storyline. So now we're really in the same teams as the game, we're about surveillance and hacking. And so when you go into someone else's game to hack him, what's really cool is there's no menu, there's no glitch, it's just like it's magical. You're in his game like this, and that was important to us, to kind of blend in single and multiplayer in that sense.
And how does that work as something, as a kind of persistent thing? Like if I want to go into something, like, because I can see myself like really just enjoying going into other people's games and messing them up. I mean, what are the sort of rewards from that? Do you kind of level up? Do you get, what sort of rewards do you get for kind of going in and successfully hacking people?
Yeah, so basically you'll be building up your notoriety as a hacker and as a fixer, and you're going to get more and more difficult contracts. What's going to happen is you're going to be putting virus in those people, so it's almost like you have your network of people that you've put virus in. That is going to give you a lot of power, but at the same time it makes you a big target, because if someone then hacks you, he gets a fraction of what you build up, during all of that play. So basically, the more you hack, the bigger the target you become for other very powerful hackers out there. So you build on a notoriety. So if you want to be on top, you have to not only hack other people but protect yourself.
And is that kind of specific? Like you'll have like a list of like people you've hacked or something like that? Is that kind of individualized?
We call it the hacking network, and you'll literally see everyone you've successfully hacked into. But if they manage to fight back, they're able to get off of your network. So you can basically fight to try and maintain your network.
That's really awesome. Does that, because obviously a big part of the game is how it interacts with kind of tablets and kind of like connected devices and that kind of stuff. Does that come out of the game into the devices at any point? I mean, can you use your tablet to kind of go in and mess around with the hack list or do anything through that?
So the notoriety is unified, including the single player. Right now, the most interesting part of our tablet and mobile integration is in the competitive mode. That's where we're putting all of our focus, or most of our focus. We haven't looped it into the same notoriety, but it's something that we're looking at right now.
That's really fascinating, because that's kind of, it feels like that's like a kind of new multiplayer experience that we just haven't had before, right? Like previously, if you had like the kind of like couch sharing thing, you could have split screen or you could have co-op, and this feels like something completely new.
Yeah, and it makes it very accessible. The reality is not everyone has 2 or 3 controllers, but almost everyone has a smartphone or a tablet at home. And the other aspect is that we all like to play with friends, but it's hard to time yourself with them all the time. When now it's more easy because they can just take their phone and basically play with you.
In terms of how Aiden kind of interacts with the world, something that's I was thinking about seeing the demo is there's quite a lot of gunplay. There's a bit of violence, like kind of shooting people in the head, that kind of stuff, which almost felt like a shame, really. Like because the world, there's all these different ways you can interact with it, and just shooting people. I was thinking, oh, there's so many open world games in which I can shoot people. I mean, how much is that? Is that like a mandatory part of the thing, or or is it something that you can go through the game like being pacifist, just using the systems and not actually killing anyone?
Yeah, there's lots of the designers on the team who thinks similar things to what you're saying. They want to go in and be more stealthy and not necessarily lethal. Now there are some parts of the game where you will have to be violent, for sure. We'll force it. But the general rule we have is when we give a player a challenge, we want him to be able to go in guns blazing if that's the way he wants to play. But he can also be very stealthy, sneaky, and non-violent. Well, non-violent would be a bit extreme, but non-lethal, I'll say it this way. And we also want to support people who really want to focus on the hacking, who really wants to try and solve puzzles purely by hacking. The reality is most people are going to mix those 3 types of player styles, but we're really trying that hard. And we're seeing when we're making playtests, player using hacking for stealth. It's a very powerful thing to do, actually. My final question being is, obviously when you do have the ability to kind of scan people's smartphones and it kind of pops up those little bios and it kind of gives you a job title and a description. There's some quite obscure job titles and some quite obscure descriptions in there. Have you guys had some fun creating that? Are there like some single
like, I don't know, games journalists or game developers wandering around Chicago that we can look out for?
Are you offering up your name for it? So yeah, they're assembled, they're assembled from databases. One of the things that we're trying to do is to have fun facts on a lot of people. Obviously some people are just boring, but some of those people actually lead you to gameplay. So if you find someone, for example, he's a known drug dealer and he's texting, and maybe if you hack on his texting, you'll see something happening that will lead to a mission or to gameplay. So it'll keep you very much aware of some of those things. And yeah, if you're interested in being in the game, we're actually okay with that. We could do that.